デザイン、プログラム、スクリプト、サウンド。
Here is episode 4 of Knock Knock Gamedev podcast, and here with us Gerald Schenke from Ubisoft Düsseldorf. You are a programmer, developer.
Yeah.
And say a few words about yourself.
Yeah, like I said, I'm working as a gameplay programmer at Ubisoft Düsseldorf. So originally, my name is Gerald Schenke. I'm now 37 years old. Yes, that's true. And so originally I studied computer science. I did my bachelor and my master, and then worked in the telecommunications industry 7 years. And on the side, I always had little side projects, and I had one bigger hobby project with friends working on a game. And so I reduced even my work time to a 4-day week. That was luckily possible back then. And spent more and more time with making games, and that was much more fun than the abstract work I had to do in my job. And then I thought about, why not do it professionally, and let's just try it. And I applied back then because the time was right. I applied to the Cologne Game Lab, which is in Cologne, and I did a second master there about game development and research. And after that, I applied at Ubisoft Düsseldorf, and it worked out very well. So my background is more being a Java developer even, and now doing C++ programming for games. It's a long journey.
What is the difference between software developer and like a gameplay developer?
So the difference in the industry is so in telecommunications it was very abstract, it was business to business. You didn't have the feedback from the software you created, and the people working there obviously for the money. And in the games industry, it's mostly everyone that works there also is a gamer, I would say. So I still have to meet someone that isn't gaming and is working in the games industry. So you connect on a different level from the beginning. And so working on a product where you're passionate about is really a cool thing to do. And that's the reason I wanted to get into the games industry, but it was also a reason for me not to force it from the beginning, because I feared that making my hobby to my job is making it less fun. So I had always a lot of fun creating games and experimenting around, and doing this for money as a job keeps the pressure up, and you have to do it. So I was afraid that this wasn't fun anymore, but luckily it's still fun. Yeah, so I'm passionate about it, and I think that's the biggest difference for me between those both sides. Yeah, there are obviously more. So like I said, the telecommunications industry was very abstract, and now I work on a product that I can play myself.
You never work in small studios, so this is your first place in game development, and how is it like to work in such a big studio like Ubisoft?
Yeah, I'm working there now for 1.5 years, and it's more chaotic than I thought, so maybe that's an additional difference between the industries. And yes, working for a big company, obviously, and a very big project, it's very you don't have a lot of say in how the game will turn out. So I'm developing a system that is then used by game designers and other people, and I'm not making any decisions about how the game will be. Of course, I give feedback, and when I'm lucky, people say, yeah, that's good feedback, let's do it that way, but I don't make decisions. So we have game directors for that, etc. So yeah, it's still, but you're still working on this one giant thing, and at some point it will
It's
come
still
out.
bringing joy.
Yeah.
Many journalists right now saying about crunches in the game industry. I don't know, is it the same like in Germany? And it's really, for me, it's curiosity. Is it like the same? You have here crunches, or it's because of the laws? I guess they should pay you more, and they like, and you cannot apply to so much over hours, like 100 over hours or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know what the legal situation is, but no, there's absolutely, in my experience, absolutely no crunch time whatsoever. And even the culture of the company right now is, if you stay too long, colleagues will say, go home. So, because game developers themselves sometimes want to finish stuff and want to make more progress and stay longer on their own. They're not even asked to do it, and overwork themselves. So, and currently we have that culture that if someone notices, hey, he's always here, he's always staying long, go home, you have free time as well. And so I'm not doing any overtime right now.
This is why I want to ask. It's like a myth buster, you know. Everybody say crunch right now in all journals. All this like Kotaku, this guy Jason Schreier.
But in those companies, there is a lot of crunch, and so in Germany it may be different. And in USA, I hear really bad things about the crunch times. Yeah,
I guess it's in all IT over there, like not only game industry, like startups, IT. They every time have over hours, but
I don't know enough about it. I also only read the news, and so from my experience here at that studio, there's no crunch, but we're not anywhere near a release date, so maybe a little bit of crunch is coming up at the end. Who knows? So obviously at the end it gets hectic, and I can think of like working longer. But as you said, here in Germany, it's mostly then you're compensated for that. I'm not expecting long crunch times.
Okay, this is good. Can you share any released games which you work on?
So I cannot talk about the project I'm working on right now, and unfortunately I don't have really a release of other games from myself. So there was this hobby project where we did a prototype, but it was never released. It was just a 3D puzzle game. But so in the second master, the master about game development and research, I did some projects, obviously. And there's one that you can find on itch.io from me, which is just a very, very short, funny experimental project. And there's another project I did for a museum. So if you know MC Escher, there was an exhibition about MC Escher, the artist, with the famous stairs that never end. You know it? And so we did a VR game that has those aesthetics. So stairs that never end and stuff like that, where you can turn the world around and walk on the ceiling, basically, stuff like that. And that was basically released. It was part of the exhibition in that museum. That was a very cool project. But there's no commercial project I'm part of yet.
And you recently revived Unreal Meetups with other guys. Want to share something or maybe advertise it a bit?
Yeah. So I like to go to meetups to meet other game developers, and here in Düsseldorf we not only have the Gamedev Meetup, we also have the Unreal Meetup, and so there are two other guys, like you said, Cedric and Andy. So Cedric was organizing it before, and it's still organizing it, but had not much time in the last year, I say. Several reasons, and so we wanted to revive it and start again with those meetups, and yeah, we luckily can do it now in the Holo Cafe. That's a local shop where you can
play
VR games
and drink some coffee.
Yeah, pretty cool location, and we have that. And now we are doing a quarterly meetup for Unreal. So all talks are roughly about something made in Unreal or some tech related to Unreal Engine.
Yeah, but it was cool. I have a lot of fun. Can you give any advice to future game developers who want to join, like to game developer army, who will do some new games?
Yeah, so do a lot of projects yourself. Just so obviously you need the practical skills, but also have something to show. If you apply somewhere, it's always the best to say, hey, I did this. So before I applied to Ubisoft, I prepared a website with all my projects I did. So because I didn't have really something released, I collected all the projects and described them so they can look them up and see, he did this. And that's very helpful. And then later they will ask you about those projects. They will ask, what did you have? What problems did you have? What problems did you solve? And how did you approach the problem? How did they solve it? Especially for me as a programmer, I was like, how do you solve the problems that come up? And so the doing projects and being able to show them is, in my opinion, the most important part. Next to the formal education.
Blitz, short question, not necessarily short answer. Which games do you play now? Recent.
So the coolest game I'm playing right now is Beat Saber for VR. So I bought a Vive from a friend finally, and it's super awesome to play.
Which platform you prefer to play? PC, PlayStation, Nintendo?
I only have a PC. I don't have any console. No. I don't even have a Switch or Xbox, PlayStation, nothing of that. And I always were a PC gamer, so yeah, even in my youth, for a short time I had a Nintendo 64, but I mostly played on PC.
What do you think about Epic Game Store?
Yeah, that's it doesn't have enough features, but I like that it exists, and I like that Epic is trying to be an alternative to Steam, that they have some competition. That's very good for the long run, and with their aggressive share, giving developers more, it's a very good direction. But I'm surprised that they released so early without all the rudimentary features you would expect. So that's a sad part, and they're getting a lot of bad news for that. And maybe it was the right time because of Fortnite, etc. But yeah, that's a little bit strange to me. Otherwise, I think it's super great that it exists, and I hope they're successful. And the exclusive deals they're doing, well, that's just part of the business decisions to be aggressive and get the market. And yes, it's not very consumer friendly, you could say, but in the end, it's for the greater good. And I believe that they are acting on this and trying to get into the market to make it a fairer, competitive place.
Best game ever?
So going after my Steam most played game is XCOM Enemy Unknown, the new one by Firaxis a few years back. So I played that a very long time. There's even a lot of workshop stuff, plugins like the Long War, maybe you know it. So you can spend a lot of time with taking back the years.
Worst game ever?
The worst game? I don't know. Yeah, that's difficult. You only think about the good ones.
If not, then not.
Yeah, no, I didn't have. So I'm thinking about if I have a game that I'm really disappointed in, but I don't have an answer.
If you face Gabe Newell, what you will say to him?
I have no idea. So maybe regarding this situation with Steam right now, and maybe I would like to talk to him about the Linux support, because they pushed for that a while back a lot, and now it feels like they abandoned it. And so what's up with that? Or maybe it doesn't see the need anymore because Microsoft is doing good things with Windows. I don't know. I would rather meet another person like John Carmack. So as a programmer, I would rather talk to him and ask him a lot of questions about C++ development and what he's doing right now.
This is a good answer. Thank you for attending. Maybe you want to plug in something like social media or something like that?
No. I'm not very active on social media, so my Twitter handle is Gamedev, but I rarely ever tweet anything. So.
Thank you. So it was a pleasure to talk with you.
Yeah, thank you for the invite.
Press like, subscribe, yeah.